Barbadians want a Barbadian head of state. This is the ultimate statement of confidence in who we are and what we are capable of achieving. Hence, Barbados will take the next logical step towards full sovereignty and become a republic by the time we celebrate our 55th anniversary of independence.
Which will be November 2021. Lee Jasper is a Senior Policy Advisor on Equalities to a former Mayor of London. Lee, welcome to the programme. What would Barbados gain if this change happens?
It's integrity. It's truly an independent nation. It's dependency in any shape or form to the old colonial power. It's a seminal Black Lives Matter moment as the Caribbean and Barbados leading the way. They've done some great work at the international United Nations level on the issue of reparations for transatlantic slavery. And this is another example of their leadership in the Caribbean. It's to be warmly welcomed.
Former colonies have very strange relationships with their former colonial masters. You know Colin Croft, the great West Indian cricketer? I was interviewing him once about playing against England. And even before I asked, he said, let me tell you something. If there was one team we wanted to beat more than any other, it was England. Because of the colonial past. How much resentment is there in the Caribbean? I mean, we're talking about Barbados, but we can make it a broad question about the Caribbean. How much resentment against the UK is there in the Caribbean?
I think the Windrush scandal has heightened that resentment, but I think more generally people view Britain fondly. But that doesn't mean they wish to be in a dependency relationship. And their ambition, their modern Caribbean nations and their peoples, wish to be independent and sovereign as part of this move. So I think the competitive nature of beating the mother country during colonial times was a lot higher than it is today, and it needs to be, because frankly the West Indies cricket team aren't doing all that well.
Hey, they're not that bad. Come on. Look, just to explain to the viewers who don't know, the Windrush scandal is about Caribbean nationals who came decades ago legally to live in the United Kingdom, even at the request often of the British government, and who are now having their nationality or their settled status questioned, and some are being deported. So just a bit of background information. And of course, something like that would produce some resentment. So if this were to happen for Barbados, 8 Caribbean nations would still have the Queen as their head of state, including the land of your father, who was born in Jamaica. So should they all be doing the same thing as Barbados?
Absolutely. I'm hoping this will lead to a domino effect in the Caribbean, and we'll see Jamaica and other islands begin to follow Barbados' example. So I am really hoping that the newly elected Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, and his cabinet, who promised to have a referendum on this issue in Jamaica, will now do so, and people will vote accordingly.
Yeah, actually, we don't know exactly whether it will be done through legislation or whether it will be put as a question to the people. If it was legislation, we have very little time, Lee. Would there be any problem in terms of those who pass laws doing so with this one?
No, I don't think so. I think Barbados has showed that you can take the legislative route quite competently and with credibility.
Lee, thank you so much indeed. Thanks for sticking to time. Obviously, you're an experienced broadcaster yourself.